This time, another game with Nick and another game with Syntax. B13, however, is the challenger in this one. In red, on the North Spawn. Bots, air, bots. So this looks like it's been much earlier in the new season. Much heavier airplay on Syntax. You all on the South Spawn. In blue, Nick once again. Double bots going into their air thereafter. B13 though. Single bots air. Looks like it's bots air rather than bots air bots. We'll just have to see exactly what is done with these plays. Scouting coming off from B13 with the Firefly there. Fireflies on this map very potent indeed with the vision range. Pip to the post with a Dox. Unfortunate Firefly. Sparks coming out already from Nick, and again streaming his Dox up the map to see what snipes he can get. Two expanding fabbers on this side though. Can they get up can they get up a turret in time? Two together. It's going to be close. I don't think they're going to manage it. It's going to be so very close. Oh, Nick retreats! He doesn't go in. And they get up the wall as a result. B13 will be happy with that if he even noticed it. Sticking or twisting, and he's stuck. Yeah. Double air from B13. Very risky play on such a small radius against Nick, who now is about to have an idle commander if he's not careful. He hasn't queued up anything else. And there it is. Nick with an idle commander. Feast your eyes, folks. You won't see this very often. There we go. Straight away. Going into a second air as well. Is that because he's seen the double air play from B13? No, it's just instinct and knowing the air meta. Going straight in there. Only sees a single air factory and guesses based on the number of air units that there is a second air factory floating around. There we go. Nick with the strong air manoeuvring and Dox manoeuvring as well, taking out both bombers there. Fab snipe could be possible here if Nick gives chase. He's not. That was a good opportunity, perhaps missed there from Nick. Expanding though on his own in different directions. Going up for a... oh, he's not going for another factory just yet. Oh, Nick with an idle commander again, folks. I was going to say you don't see it very often, but twice in the same game, Nick. What's going on there? B13, though, manages to take the 4 mechs high yield site. Trying to lock it down there with a 2-point turret. And a wall in front of it. Will he go quite as hard as Nick did last game with the pelter and more turrets? Will just remain to be seen. T2 bots plan now for B13. Nick already starting it. Just a little bit ahead. Slightly behind on the eco. Not too much, not anything significant. It's only a couple of mechs in it. And the moment the T2 comes in. Ooh, Nick surviving there with the fabs. Brings his air in and saves them. Trying to get those mechs locked down. Innocence with your quotes. Oh my gosh. go. So, Triple Fab and Commander focusing down the T2 factory for B13. For Nick, though, 5 Fabs and a Commander. He wants this T2 factory. He's not waiting around for it. But there's also a lot of mechs just inside his base here that he hasn't claimed. Very peculiar. With such localized mechs deposits, something you also tend to see are turrets to lock them down. So you see it pretty much on all of these maps where you've got double mechs or triple mechs plopped in a deposit. Few forces moving out now from B13. Will they get a successful raid on this triple point here? Probably not. Nick is probably aware of it. He's got a radar there. He can see exactly what's going on. Bringing a few sparks in to support the turret as well. That gets a few shots off before the units come into range. And Nick there with the broadside against the blob. Very effective. And we've had our vehicle transition for the game. B13 here. With a proxy vehicle fab, staging post. And going into a third air factory now. Most curious. Bringing out the T2 combat unit before the fab again on such a small map. Quite wise. Nick done the same there, although still no T2 fab. Going out for 2 slammers. A third, possibly. Maybe a whole set of 5. Ooh, some locusts from Nick. Are we gonna get anything from these, or are they just gonna be killed off? There's a turret there. Oh, it misses. Gets one of them. Almost managing to take out the expansion. Not quite, though. Commiserations to locusts. Where can I hear shooting? There we go. Nick doing some raiding. That's where I can hear shooting. Broadside against the blob. Second T2 factory plan now for B13 as well. Nick only with 1. And struggling to keep his expansions there as B13 starts to pull away in the eco game. And the vehicles reveal themselves. They're good against these single point laser turrets. Although B13 deciding not to actually fully raid that expansion. Doesn't even kill off that mech. B13, pay attention. I know you've got other stuff on your plate, but come on. Be perfect, damn you. Wow, 2 radar within spitting distance of each other? What is going on here? Although on such a small, as I said in last game, such a small radius map, a single radar covers so much. It's so powerful on this map, it's amazing, and there it goes. B13 though coming in to defend. Can he keep his expansion here? Looks like he's just about going to manage it. Also using ghillies here. Perhaps this is where Nick got the idea from. Have a look at the fab account there for B13. That's a lot of fabbers. It's going to keep him replenishing his expansions constantly. And he is doing so. He's replenished those raided expansions almost instantly. And these fabs, the moment he's finished there, probably going to go down here. We've already got the blueprints to replenish. And mine, he's got 2 other ones doing it. Straight away. And Nick there, planning on the second T2 factory as well. Why in this one have I... There we go. I was going to say, why have I lost my icons? Nick trying to push back in there. He knows the importance of this site on this map. Picks off the ghillie with his own. He's adopted it. Is he going to bother with any more locusts? Kind of tricky to get in with locusts, actually. There's on such a small map with a few choke point entrances, it's pretty difficult for locusts to really start to pay for themselves, considering how expensive they are. B13 there, only just starting that T2. Bit behind Nick, who is struggling for power a little bit. Going for a third T2 bot factory now as well, though, as I say, needs to get that power in check. Otherwise he's going to find himself struggling a bit. This aggressive force here from B13 could... Whoa, where was that shot going? Could make some inroads into Nick's base. Nick's commander here. On the exposed side of the base there, the ghillie getting sniped! Counter-sniping. Delaying that T2 factory there. Picking off a few fabs. Walls coming up from a T2 fab there. Building those first before the turret. He wasn't even bothering with the turret. He was trying to keep his fab alive. Take note, folks. If you have a T2 fab that you rely on, keep it alive. It'll save you the time of having to rebuild it. Again, Nick playing quite defensively now, and what is this? That's not even in front of your turret, you muppet! Oh my goodness, citizens! These quotes are quality. Oh. Still going for the two T2 factories from B13. Nick resuming production on that third T2 there. Almost completed it, focusing it down with a T2 fab. B13 though, going in for the airplay. We're now up to 5 air factories. That is going to have a massive advantage over Nick's 2. But B13 needs to keep that card close to his chest and reveal it perhaps a little bit later when he has the air game back, because Nick has been keeping it at bay for the time being. And again here, Nick is slightly preoccupied with the defense of the realm. Sniper bots being picked off. One going one way, then the other. Pew pew. Now being surrounded there. Forked, if you will, for any chess players. Although, not really a very efficient fork, because Nick decided to pull his other force back while that one did attack. So. But there we go. B13 with this proxy over here. Triple bots. I wonder whether boombot spam would be a possibility here. With 3 bot factories so close to the base and so close together, I might even go for it. Even with T2 around the place, I reckon boombots would just be a right thorn in the side and they'd move a lot more. Yeah. Interesting. Didn't like the positioning of that factory. It annoyed him. Can't imagine why, but oh well. Ah! There's the shaker. A T2 vehicle transition. That could really stir things up. Some shellers firing over the terrain while being safe from snipers. The vanguards will soak the sniper shots, and the levelers will tank the slammer shots too. Ah! Careful of your air, B13. Nick with 4 T2 bot factories now. B13, though, is aware of 3. Although he's almost got 3 T2 himself, but the army count there massively favouring B13, or at least double. But Nick has the defender's advantage. He needs to keep the sniper bots out of range of the aggressors. But he's not quite managing it. He needs to get his T2 fabs producing defences pronto. Somehow some good trades are happening here. I don't know quite how Nick's managing it. He's got a lot of docks which are probably eating those sniper shots, which is allowing his own snipers to pick off the main units of B13's base. Plus he sees the tanks now and he's going to wonder, where are all these tanks coming from? Why have you transitioned to vehicles? And what can I do about it? Nick playing very defensively. He hasn't pushed out in a long time. He says, as he moves around the planet and sees a raiding party of Nick's destroy a wall. Ah, interesting defense. Triple barrel laser pointer there. Laser pointer. I'm going to call them that from now on. Oh, we've got laser pointers. There we go. Levelers coming out instead of shellers. Not my preference, but there we go. B13 knows what he's doing. Probably just to bolster the forces. Perhaps B13 thinks, yeah, I can probably go for the win here. Hence the levelers. Just needs that extra stopping power in those armies. Pelter doing some good work here from behind cover. Weakening this force. That being said, Nick has half the army quantity of B13, and B13 has almost twice the production capability of Nick. Twice the eco. I'm going in for a heavy vehicle transition here, and we've got some combat fabs as well to keep those levelers and slammers alive, I would imagine. And here we go. Nick being raided all over. B13 scouting a little bit with the air, seeing what's going on. Sees a few bot factories. Sees not many combat units and thinks, yeah, okay, win time. He's probably going to start moving in for the win. Excuse me. Ah. Here we go. The confrontation. B13 pushes in there. The air flies over. Gets a little bit of vision. B13 not yet pushing in. Snipers doing their work. Just keeping an eye on the picture there. B13 even going T2 air in his base now as well. Exploiting the advantage he knows he has at this point. Although Nick there, defender's advantage, doing quite well picking off B13's force there and giving chase as well. And at this moment, I'm not going to keep watching the chase happen because... Oops, there we go. I don't want to get caught out like last game. Yeah, some more expansions going down. Radar gone down as well, but the sniper bots from Nick. Is he going to push out? Is he going to take that opportunity, or is he going to stay in defense? Looks like he's going to go all in. Nick's doing it. He's going all in. Half the army quantity. And he's going all in. Where is his army, though? That can't be 80 units there. 100 units. His army's all sort of split up and all over the place. Nick! What are you doing, lad? This aggressive force we'll keep an eye on in top picture-in-picture while we watch these pushes from B13 now on the south vote. Taking down some advanced mechs there. More eco troubles for Nick now. B13 bringing the fight to Nick. Where's B13's commander? Nice and safe and sound inside the base with a lot of T2 vehicles to defend. Nick's army getting bombed to oblivion. Nick's base getting sniped to pieces and leveled, razed to the ground. Replays, you can't see the chat logs, but I imagine, yep, the GGs were called. Good game there. B13 against Nick. Early in Season 2.